There's a peculiar thing about the reasons most people give for struggling to make friends. They almost always circle back to challenges that feel monumental: social anxiety, an absence of social skills, shyness, trust issues, or the nomadic life of someone always on the move. These aren't things you can snap your fingers and fix. They demand time, effort, and a willingness to change deeply ingrained habits. But maybe we've been asking the wrong crowd. The answers typically come from those struggling the most, locked into their self-fulfilling cycles. I think I'm bad at this, so I am, and so I will remain. It's a belief system that feeds itself endlessly. Instead of spinning in these circles, what happens if we turn to the ones who seem to have it all figured out, the naturally social, the effortlessly charismatic? Why do they find it so easy to connect while others struggle? The answers they give often cut through the fluff. Some people are just plain dull. And worse, they don't listen. Harsh, but there's wisdom here. If you're uninteresting, no hobbies, no stories, no opinions, or if you're the kind of person who zones out when others speak, then what foundation exists for a friendship to grow? The question isn't just what you're missing, but what you're bringing to the table. Let's call it what it is. No sugarcoating or gentle euphemisms like reserved or shy. There's nothing inherently wrong with those traits, but hiding behind them won't help you connect with others. Honesty and self-awareness are far more valuable. Without them, you risk being stuck in the same loops, wondering why meaningful connections feel out of reach. But what does it really mean to be boring? Is it purely subjective, or is there a broader truth to it? Research leans toward the latter. You don't need to share someone's exact interests to find common ground. What matters is the passion and enthusiasm you bring. People who lack zest for life, who have no excitement or curiosity, often come across as flat, regardless of how diverse their interests might be. And no, enthusiasm doesn't mean you need to be the life of the party, tossing confetti and cracking jokes. It's simpler than that. It's about sharing what lights you up. Passion is magnetic, even in quiet forms. Without it, conversations feel hollow, and connections become harder to spark. The reality is, too many people live passively, glued to screens, but rarely engaging meaningfully with what they consume. If you can't even recount the plot of the series you just binge-watched or articulate why you love a certain hobby, what do you expect to bring into a conversation? Building friendships requires fuel, and that fuel often comes from your own interests and experiences. Good conversations flow from give and take. Some people bring stories, color, and energy to a discussion, while others ask questions and draw out insights. To play either role, you need to show up. You need to care. The truth is, people are more likely to invest in relationships that feel stimulating, enriching, or fun. And yes, fun matters. It's not shallow to want friendships filled with laughter, engaging activities, and dynamic conversations. Fun isn't frivolous. It's the spark that keeps relationships alive. But let's not dance around the tough question. What are you contributing to the friendships you seek? Are you offering depth, enthusiasm, and curiosity? Or are you just hoping others will carry the weight? Relationships thrive when both sides invest effort, but that investment has to start with you. Being worthy of great friendships begins with believing that you are. You don't need to have it all figured out before reaching out to others, but self-doubt can hold you back. Vulnerability, though uncomfortable, is a gateway. It's about stepping into that uncertainty, risking awkwardness, and embracing the messy, human process of connecting. Building friendships takes patience. It's not instant coffee. It's a slow brew. The first person you meet might not be your person, and that's okay. The key is persistence. Show up as the version of yourself you'd want to be friends with, and like-minded people will find their way to you. So don't shy away from sharing a bit more of yourself. Be bold enough to care, brave enough to listen, and willing to enjoy the process. Because when you open yourself up, you'll discover that real connections aren't about perfection. They're about authenticity. And those connections? They're always worth the effort. Take that first step, and who knows where it might lead. Every great friendship starts somewhere,